presented by SeaWorld.
Everybody thought it would be Hank Amos, but it was Jeff Schmick, a beauty on his second jump, 798 points on the 720. Then he finished his round with a back full twist, a gainer, sensational form. And after a couple of years of injuries, he realized the glory of persistence.
Yesterday, we had a few twists and turns, and guess mostly that Dave Reinhardt wasn't here today. Did you feel an ease of pressure or more pressure because he wasn't here?
Well, actually, the pressure was still on because, you know, Hank and Mike Tolzman can really exert a lot of pressure on you. You know, Hank's a really clean skier, and, you know, you can never count Mike out.
20 minutes outside of the city is Gilbert, Arizona, and that's where we are for the second stop on the Bud Water Ski Tour. Well, things keep heating up here in Gilbert, Arizona. The temperatures are rising, and so are our competitors. Freestyle jumping is coming up. If you like it wild, crazy, and everything, including twists, then you like men's freestyle jumping, presented by SeaWorld. That's Matt May, the youngest competitor out here. He's only 17 years old, and he has something to prove.
The rules are very basic in freestyle. You get 3 times by the ramp. 2 of your jumps count. It's a maximum boat speed of 35 miles per hour. And how is it scored? Distance plus form times the degree of difficulty.
And first up on the water, showing us how difficult it can be, is Jeff Schmick, our winner in Orlando. Now, he had a fall in the first jump. This is his second jump. Watch him hit that forward ramp and fly.
And a very nicely performed Moby. He gets over 800 points. That's fabulous. A full twisting backflip for Jeff Schmick.
Matt May and Dave Reinhardt looking on, saying, yeah, nice job. Well done. Lands it and looks at the crowd and says, I may be number 1.
The quiet and tough Jeff Schmick. One last shot by the ramp to get 2 scoring jumps. It's going to be a long distance gainer. A back flip. Can he stick to landing? He does, so that's going to score well for him. 1469.
Dave Reinhardt taping up your foot right now, but that's not really the problem, is it?
No, unfortunately, I injured my knee about a month ago, and I haven't been able to train like I've been wanting to.
It's more than just hurt. Describe which knee and what the problem is. I understand you got torn ligaments.
Yes, apparently I torn one ligament in 2 and stretched one and partially torn another one in my right knee.
It's your right knee. Why are you out on the tour right now? Yes, you're the defending champion. Yes, you're the man out there right now, but why ski with what is severe damage to the right knee?
Well, I'm hoping that I can coach through this season and this fall get it operated on. I'm just hoping that I don't do any further damage, but I feel pretty confident that I can still do well with an injury.
Well, right now you are running in first place, so you're doing well enough. Congratulations. Good luck with that knee. We'll look for you to jump soon.
Okay, thank you.
Reinhardt, always unflappable. He'll be out in a moment, but right now in the water, 17 years of age, Matt May, the nephew of the all-time great ski show champion Skip Gilkerson. He taught Matt to ski at 18 months. And on one ski at 4 years of age and on his bare feet at 5. But he's on one ski now, long distance gainer, good stand-up landing, and better distance than Jeff Schmick, so he got a higher score.
Well, we told you things were heating up, and that's a pretty good way to cool down. But if you like it hot, you're going to love this guy, the dog, Dave Reinhardt. Let's see how the dog does right now. Any competition that he enters, you can consider him the favorite, plain and simple.
The 5-time freestyle champion has to be ever so careful now with an injured knee. He is wrapped for a back Moby. Full twisting flip. He doesn't get all the way off, and he's down.
Oh, Wayne, you can feel that knee just torque and wrench as it hits the water. Let's take a look at it again. He says he's okay, but is he?
A little stretch at the top of the ramp, doesn't get his full extension. Thus, he doesn't have enough time to complete the rotation, but his knee seems to be okay.
Wow. Great angle right here as he hits that forward ramp and flies. Take a look at him. Bam! Down he goes. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Actually, more of the impact probably on his chest at that point, so his legs are all right, so to speak.
Well, he'll take a rest as Matt May comes out on the water once again. Just a reminder, this is Matt's second jump.
And this also is a back Moby. Full twisting back somersault. Have to be forward when you hit the ramp, then kick and spin all at the same time. Great extension. Outstanding recovery on the landing at over 800 points.
A little bounce and pop, but he gets it up and lands it and picks up some great points there. Let's take a look once again. Here he hits it, flies, brings it up and under, gets that ski under him and bounces off the water and says, Yeah, I got it.
He has such a great future ahead of him at 17 years of age. But here's the vet, the champion, going to do the one ski back Moby again, trying to lock it in, gets a better kick, finishes the rotation, and skis away with the same score as Matt May, 800.
Wayne, as we take a look at it again, one of the things that I so appreciate about this competition is that they are such crowd pleasers. Look at them motion to the crowd, acknowledge the crowd, and the crowd enjoys watching these guys.
Certainly the competitors appreciate that because this is the most dangerous event in water skiing. 55 miles per hour, hitting a 5.5-foot ramp and then spinning. He's trying to do a 1080.
Oh!
I thought it was going to be a 720, but he decides, let's try 3 revolutions.
He just kept going and going and going. He looked like he was going to take off there.
It was the courage of youth. Wrapped. He has to hand the rest. He has 1 rotation, 2, then 3. Lands forward. At least he landed forward and doesn't mess up his legs.
And that makes our
Hall of Fame.
Was that a 720 or a 1080 you were going? You looked like you were just trying to take off out there.
I got lost in the air. I slipped on the ramp, broke forward, and couldn't stop spinning.
You okay physically?
Oh, I'm fine. Feeling great.
All right, you do finish second. You gave a little push there initially to Dave. You wanted to intimidate him. I don't know about that last jump, but it sure looked fun.
I haven't tried one in probably about a month, so hopefully we can work on it for Camden.
And he probably won't try one for about another month. You can be sure that Dave Reinhardt with this final jump won't try it. Here he comes. 2 skis, he nails his landing. He knows he needed the points. He gets it, and what a great final jump for Dave Reinhardt.
Very easy to torque your knee on 2 skis, but he overcomes the difficulty and the fear.
Well, this winter I've been training with Matt May, and we've been down in Delray training behind the Pro Star. And we're really doing good. Me and Matt skiing good. I'm really happy that he got second. The competition wasn't as strong as it has been in the past, but they're out there trying harder tricks than they normally do, too.
So Dave Reinhardt bounces back from his loss in Orlando on the first tour stop to pick up this one. Dave Reinhardt is once again #1. We can't forget Dave Reinhardt. When it comes to freestyle jumping, this guy is nailing his jumps with a torn ACL, and he's as competitive as ever.
Yeah, he really is. He's tenacious. He is the dog out there. He grabs on, and he's got a fierce bite on the handle. Not going to let go, and he has an idea that he's going to continue on.
The hottest tour in town, the Bud Water Ski Tour, presented by SeaWorld. And more cash is on the line. Coming up next, the guys that fly. Strap yourselves down because we're about ready to go flying. It is time for the men's freestyle jumping presented by SeaWorld. Actually do this for a living, as in Dave Reinhardt, the dog, 28 years old and the veteran out here on the tour.
And you have to be very supple in this event, too. The back 1 ski Mobius, a full twisting backflip. Reinhardt survives it, not over 800 points, so it's kind of a mediocre score for him.
This is Matt May. We've talked about this guy every week. The youngest competitor out here, 17 years old and fearless.
And coming off a second-place finish in Phoenix, he lands hard but stands right up on a 1-ski backflip or a gainer.
Dave Reinhardt is back on the water. This time he has 2 skis, which means he's going to perform his patented
2-ski front Moby off the front, diving forward, bent, all bunched up, kind of ugly, but he skis away. It's a strange body position so that he can clear the rope on the twist and the flip. Very consistent, and this is the one, however, that is very dangerous to his knee should the 1 ski get away from him.
And on 1 ski is Matt May. He's wrapped and he's ready. He'll hit the ramp at 50 miles an hour and he'll fly.
Full twisting, takes it up well and over-rotates it and can't ski away.
Jump number 2 will not count. Obviously a fall. Let's take a look and tell us what happened, Wayne.
He just slipped out a little bit right at the top. He got good leg extension, but he was leaning a little bit towards the boat, so he slides out and really doesn't have enough time to complete his flip.
Time for Dave Reinhardt to attack that forward ramp one more time, this time with 1 ski.
The 1-ski version of the front Mobius, and he can't get all the way around.
Now, jump number 3 will go down in the books as a fall, but he'll wind up with 1,575 points. Here it is one more time.
Yeah, he just doesn't get the spring. He slides out way too early, doesn't have the extension. He's not going to be satisfied with that. It's not over 1,600 points, which he thinks he needed in order to win the competition.
Matt May's final jump.
And a much better effort, but it's not going to be enough to overtake Dave Reinhardt and his damaged knee.
It does hurt. Thing is, I know it's bad. I know it's weak. I've been limping for so long. One day I get up and it feels great. The next day I get up and it really hurts. So.
Right. Well, who do you think is going to be the man to beat today? Is that still you?
I hope so.
Well, it is. With 1,575 points, he is currently in first place. This is Matt May making his way to shore, and this is Hank Amos, and he'll be on the water next as more of our freestyle jumping competition continues. Stay with us. Soaring like a bird. That's what they do in freestyle jumping, and that's what this guy does, Hank Amos, both on the ramp and off of it. You see, Hank can fly a kite. Check it out.
A kidder kite specifically. Hank Amos loves intensity, whether it's on the tour or at Cypress Gardens skiing in 4 or 5 shows a day. He likes action.
Basically, it's all weight shift, and you're hanging free, swinging in the harness. If you swing your weight to the left, the kite will bank left. If you swing yourself to the right, to the right. If you pull in on the bar, you go down, you push out, and you go up. So it's a series of weight shift movements, coordinated turns.
Have you got all that, Devin Ham? Because you're next.
Oh, we didn't get to see him land. I wanted to see him land. Well, we'll get to see Hank Amos land his first jump here in the freestyle jumping. This is Hank Amos.
The stylist of all freestylers. He dusts a little bit on the landing, but it's a sensational distance on the one-ski back Mobius, 92 feet and 810 points.
Oh, and he was excited about that, too. Let's see what Jeff Schmick can do. Now, keep in mind that Jeff was first in the first tour stop and then third in Phoenix. He's been our most consistent jumper to date.
Not as much speed as Amos, but a better landing, better form, and 20 points more in the overall score for that particular maneuver. Edging into the ramp, they kick and spin all at the same time, and it's form, distance times degree of difficulty that gives the skier their score.
I love the emotions these guys wear out there on their sleeve. This is Hank Amos. His third jump. He fell on his second jump. He needs the points. He sticks it, lands it, stands up, and is psyched.
This was a radical departure from the previous 2 tournaments where he went again for the one-ski front Moby, but today he decided, let's get a solid placement and go for the long-distance back flip.
And Wayne, I love the viewpoint from our camera right there at the landing spot. Now, this is Jeff Schmick. If he can stick this 720, and that's what he's wrapped to do, he can possibly catch Dave Reinhardt. Oh, he sticks it. 822 points. Yes, that is enough to overtake the dog, Dave Reinhardt.
Well, you can see him flexing his knees, trying to get the balance, and it's so delicate here, 45, 50 miles an hour, and trying to do 2 full revolutions off the ramp. He just barely hangs onto that edge and sails away with a victory.
And you wonder if he's pointing over at the dog saying, I got you, Dave, I got you. Now, this is his third jump. He's going for a distance record here. Is it enough? Holds on.
It's not going to be enough for a distance record, but he has dazzled the crowd and perhaps himself, having won 2 of 3 stops on tour.
Well, I knew what I had to do because Reinhardt scored like 1,500 points, so I knew I had to do a good, clean, long mob and long 7. And then when Hank only did a gainer for his last trick, I knew I had it, and I was just happy. Tried to go for the record.
Sure, he's happy. He picks up first place, and $3,150 comes along with that first place. Jeff Schmick, our winner in Camden. We come back, we're flying. It's men's freestyle. Bud Water Ski Tour Freestyle Jumping is on tap, presented by SeaWorld as Jeff Schmick and Matt May get ready to get underway. Here's the rules.
The acrobats of water skiing will fly off the ramp 3 times. The best 2 of 3 jumps will count, and it is judged by distance, degree of difficulty, and form.
And if you can keep up with us on the scoring, well, you've probably got a computer at home. Matt May, the youngest freestyle jumper on the tour, he is fun to watch.
Off the end, doing a gainer, slides out a little bit and has a atrocious landing, and that really killed him as far as form points go.
This is Jeff Schmick, a few years older, maybe a few years wiser because he can rack up the points. 23 years old, out of Florida.
The most rugged freestyler out there is in the midst of his best season ever. 2 of 3 wins coming to the ramp for the first time in Chicago. Does a one-ski back. Mobius sits on the landing, and that's one area where the judges keep a close eye on form.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the replay, Wayne. Why did he sit? Is he a little short here?
Well, he slipped out a little bit on the jump. He over-rotates it, and then he just can't recover. Remember, they're on a one ski. It's 7 inches wide, traveling at about 45, 50 miles an hour.
Matt May doing all that he can to protect himself here as he approaches the ramp. This is his second jump.
And this is the same maneuver that Jeff Schmick did. He gets a better extension off the top. He falls to the side but gets up quickly. Yet he's a little bit shorter on distance, so he only scores 730 compared to the 790 by Jeff Schmick.
Oh, I love that water cam of ours. What a great angle to watch those freestylers fly and then land right in front of us. Here is Jeff Schmick. This is his second jump.
The ever so delicate 722 full revolutions. He gets the rope away from him and can't get his free hand back on the handle.
This competition is so much fun for the folks on the shore to watch as they fly and almost lands the 720. He just can't hold on to the handle, though. Matt May now. This is his third and final jump. He approaches the ramp. He's whoa, what was that?
What was that?
That was weak.
That looked like it was going to be a 720, then he slipped out. That was very strange.
Well, let's take a look again and see if we can find out what's he is wrapped for something, and it just slips out.
He was edging very hard at the base of the ramp. Looked like maybe his ski was starting to side slide a little bit. Those jumpers only have about an inch fin on them, and he was way out of position.
I see a little disappointment in that face.
Yeah, I didn't do nearly as well as I wanted to.
Disappointment because of where you felt you were coming in, or how did you feel?
Just the scoring. My gainer, I came in and I was trying to go for a record, 110, and I slipped on the ramp. I probably should have thrown that one, but, you know, I just couldn't decide at the time.
Cypress Gardens coming up, and that is basically the home to show skiing. How do you feel about this?
Oh, I'll be ready for that one. We'll be there again in the finals, and hopefully I can put a little more pressure on in the finals.
One of our freestyle masters, Matt May. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Jeff Schmick out on the water now, his last attempt. He has only one scoring jump. He needs this badly. Just 790 points to his name here. Going for the long distance gainer. You heard Matt May say 110 is the distance record, and unfortunately, that's not near it. Only 83 feet on that jump.
Jeff Schmick, disappointment for sure. And let's take a look again. This from our water camera.
Form, however, was excellent, and that boosts him by a matinee score of 1294 to 1442.
Well, currently Jeff Schmick is in first place, but we've got more freestylers to come. And when we come back, Dave Reinhardt and the rest of the bunch, freestyle continues. And welcome back to Lake Park, just outside of downtown Chicago. Actually, we're pretty close to Chicago's O'Hare. Appropriate when you consider that we're flying now for the freestyle jumping.
The man who has won 5 tour titles, the king, Dave the Dog Reinhardt, opening up with the one-ski back Moby. He needs to kick it right there. Does so. Can he stand up? No, he ducks hard. Doesn't get 800 points. Not a good opening maneuver for him.
765 for Dave the Dog.
The man who has routinely courted danger, it's finally caught up to him a little bit. He's got a torn knee ligament. Somehow he has managed to continue to ski.
And this is Hank Amos out of San Antonio, Texas, 22 years old and a daredevil in his own right.
And he has beautiful form, just a slight touchdown on the landing, 790, close to 800, the best scoring one-ski back flip with a full twist we've seen all afternoon.
You know, I'm peering over to our right, Wayne, and I see that Dave, the dog, has added another ski, and you know what that means.
That means the two-ski front Mobius, a full twisting front flip. Very difficult because you have to clear the rope right there. You got to really get cranking on the flip, and he lands it. Barely skis away, 770 points. This is the trick he fears the most because it can put the most strain on his knee. He's concerned about it, but so are his folks.
How do you feel about your son jumping with what is, hey, he shrugs it off, but a very serious injury? Do you guys wince when you see him out there?
Well, yes, but he has that brace on his knee, and he wants to make it through the season, so I guess that's the best thing to do, to go out and try it.
Well, Dad's a little bit tougher, but I know moms are not quite as tough, usually. What about it, Mom? Do you look and say, hey, get in here, son, you're hurt?
Well, yes, it is a worry. I really worry about him out there, but he's determined to do it, so he's overcome a lot of handicaps, so I think he can this year too.
Yeah, Wayne, one of the things she's referring to, in addition to that ACL, is he has a loss of depth perception in his left eye due to a construction accident. As he hits the fort ramp and flies, he seems to overcome all of those injuries and still wins.
On the one-ski front Mobius, Dave focuses on the front flip right there. being wrapped. The twist just happens on its own, and he almost has a clean landing. Nonetheless, a mammoth score of over 1,000 points on this one maneuver, sending his day total to 18-13.
They call you Dave the Dog. We like to call you Dave ACL Reinhardt because of that tear on your knee. How do you feel bouncing back and right into the thick of things like this?
Actually, my knee doesn't bother me that much. I tore my ACL completely in two, my MCL 50%. It doesn't bother me, but it's weak. It's loose. I'm not strong with it because I'm not using it as much. So I am a little apprehensive with my cuts, my landings, especially in my training.
Now, in the past, Hank Amos on his last effort has tried the one-ski front Moby, but not with much success. So today he goes with the conservative one-ski back gainer. That will lock in second place with an exceptional landing. He scores 14.74. So once again, Mr. Reinhardt is back on track. His second win out of 4 attempts this season. Amos picks up another second place. Jeff Schmick in third, and Matt May rounding out the field.
An independent last week, you tear it up. Over 2,000 points, I think. Little disappointment coming back this week then, or what are you feeling?
I wouldn't call it a disappointment. Second place is good with me any day. Dave skied really well, and I had to nail that one-ski front mob to beat him. I missed it, and I knew I could come back and take second with a nice long distance laid out backflip, and I just went for the secure spot.
Martin's Pro Classic. Hitting the water next, freestyle jumping. Stay with us. This man, Mike Tolzman, awaits his turn, freestyle jumping.
We haven't seen Mike Tolzman, nor have we seen Andrew Tollefson yet this year. Tolzman's been having ankle and knee injuries. Tollefson, one of the youngsters, is coming on fairly strongly, and he'll be the first one to hit the water. This is freestyle. This is about gymnastics off the ramp, a 5.5-foot ramp, 55 miles an hour. He's going to do a back gainer, kicking it, sliding it a little bit, but an excellent landing, and 688 points.
What a way to debut on the tour.
To give you just a little bit of an idea how difficult this is, they're traveling 55 miles an hour. They're on a 72-inch ski, only 7 inches wide, and they hit a ramp surface that is as slick as ice.
Here comes Hank Amos as he approaches the Ford jump ramp.
The full twisting back Moby, he sticks it. Big landing, he loves it. 850 points. He is the stylist of the group. Lots of training on the trampoline and also diving give him beautiful form, and it looks great in the judges' eyes.
Once again, this is Andrew Tollefson. This is jump number 2.
Not quite the speed nor the technique of a Hank Amos. He falls apart right at the top of the ramp, coming in here in a wrap position, kicks it, but he starts spinning before he kicks. Doesn't get the elevation to complete the rotation or the flip.
Wow, he took a bang there. This is Hank Amos, his third and final jump now because he fell in his second attempt.
This will give him first or last place. He lands on the back of the ski and can't recover. The one-ski full twisting Moby. Dave Reinhardt does it the best. Last week, Hank Amos decided to be conservative and just do a gainer, but not this week. He went for all the money.
Andrew Tollefson would like to get into the money. This is his third and final jump.
One ski back Moby. He gets just around, slipping that ski underneath him. 850. Tremendous score for the youngster. Right here, still slipping out, but well controlled. And a nice effort for his first tour stop. Andrew Tollefson.
First time in the big day and the big dance here on the tour, and you had a big dip in the water. Was it hard to come out of that?
No, it wasn't too bad. I was a little frustrated that I slipped out, but that happened yesterday, and I came back and I made my mob. That's all I wanted to do today, and hopefully, like right now, I'm in third. I'm in spot for third, so hopefully I'll stay there, at least maybe get better.
The water is rolling. The competitors are ready. Up on that water, Dave Reinhardt. They call him the Dog as he gets locked in there by Terry Wyman. That Valio back brace, he'll need it as he hits the ramp. This is Mike Tolzman right now, his first jump.
Whoa, and he really has a bad opening lead. Crushes badly on the jump. Almost hits the back of his head as he's coming in here. You have to think about throwing this halfway up right here, but he crushes completely. Little distance, not a good scoring jump or a good opening jump for Mike Tolzman.
Now you can see disappointment all over his face. Here comes Dave the Dog Reinhardt.
The king of freestyle, 5 times a freestyle tour champion. Just uncanny awareness of his body position in the air. Once again, a back Moby, over 800 points. He's so very consistent.
I love that new camera angle we have, by the way, Wayne. That is a great angle to see these jumpers as they fly through the air, really almost with reckless abandon.
Mike Tolzman racked for a 1-ski back Moby. Good extension off the top, clean landing. You're looking at one of the guys who really picked up on the 1-ski maneuvers early in his career. Can find that delicate balance necessary, and he's got guts, believe me. His career has been beset with broken ribs, twisted knees, and ankles.
And that also can describe Dave Reinhardt right now.
2-ski front Moby, great job. He's on 2 very short skis, about 62 inches long. He comes to the top of the ramp, and he's just thinking about flipping, throwing that flip and getting it around. He's already wrapped, so he'll uncoil naturally, and he just barely does get around.
And here is Mike Tolzman, his 3rd and final jump. What's running through his mind?
Just a little short on the landing. Can he spin around? Tumble up? No! So very close to the 1-ski front mob. Same trick we just saw Reinhardt do, but on 1 ski. And the key to it, throwing the front flip. Every skier will tell you that when you come to the top, you got to really tuck it to get all the way around, and he just comes up ever so close.
And so Dave Reinhardt is wrapped and ready. He's got his knee brace on, he's got his ankle wrapped, and here he goes.
First man ever to do the 1-ski front mob, and he lands short, but he throws himself forward and gets his free hand onto the handle and skis away. So out of 5 appearances on the tour, Reinhardt has won 3, and he pockets $3,150.
Dave, I think you have more tape on you than anybody I know, but it doesn't matter how much tape you have, how many braces you have, you still seem to pull it out.
Yeah, the young competitors are coming along. Mike is starting to make his 1-ski front mob. Hank is doing real consistent, and we got a new kid this weekend, Andrew Tellison. So they're pushing people like me and Mike to better our performance every weekend.
Are these wins more satisfying for you because of that, then?
Yeah, it is to me, because it's nice to have a handicap and then try to still proceed and exceed your limits. So I feel like I got my share of handicaps, so it makes me proud that I can overcome those.
Dave the Dog wolfs out another one. We'll see you on the next stop. Tour presented by SeaWorld. This is the Mastercraft Gateway Grand Prix from Creve Coeur Lake in St. Louis, Missouri. Bud Water Ski Tour, if you can think it up, these guys can do it. Hank Amos and the rest of the best ready to attack that Ford ramp. Freestyle presented by SeaWorld. Here are the rules.
Some of the most courageous and pumped up skiers you'll ever meet will hit the ramp 3 times. 2 of the 3 jumps will count. It is scored by distance plus form times the degree of difficulty.
Yeah, and if you can add up the scores quicker than it can reach that big board out on the water, I am impressed. This is Hank Amos as he gets ready for jump number 1.
As a result of some of his trampoline and diving experience, he is the stylist of the group. Take a look. Beauty. Woo! Sticks, nails the landing. Judges love that. Almost 700 points on a very basic maneuver.
Keep in mind, Hank Amos has yet to win on the tour, while this man, Dave Reinhardt, looking on from the dock, has really dominated the tour. They are both watching Jeff Schmick. That's who's on the water right now, getting ready for his first jump.
And he is wrapped for a full twisting back Moby into a headwind. It's a pretty fierce wind for these guys. Kicks it. Excellent spring. Killer landing. He loves it. Outstanding score into a stiff wind.
For slalom skiing, we know that the wind affects it. How much does the wind like this affect you guys in freestyle jumping?
Sometimes it can be to your advantage and sometimes not.
It's a headwind.
Yeah, it's a headwind, so you have a nice tight line. And in a competition, you're a little pumped up more. The wind doesn't bother you as much as like in a practice session.
Well, good luck to you, Mike.
Thanks.
In addition to all that, most of these freestylers have a ski show background, which means they've spent hours on the water in varying conditions. Hank Amos, wrapped for a 1-ski back Moby. He sticks a beautiful form and a stand-up landing. 880 points. That is big.
I'll tell you, this is a couple of great rounds that we've seen so far from Amos and Schmick. What a beautiful jump. Look at the height and the distance he gets there. nails the landing, looks over to the shore, and I love the fact that these guys are entertainers. They acknowledge the crowd, and they ski to the crowd.
Now, we just saw one of the longest jumps on tour, 91 feet on a back Moby. This is a little shorter jump because of the difficulty of getting your balance on 2 full revolutions to 720, and he gets his arms pulled out in midair.
Gets his arms pulled out and his legs pulled right out of the binding. Here is Jeff Schmick once again.
You have to stay forward to get your spring, but keep your arms in. The boat's going 35 miles an hour, and the wind's blowing. Just couldn't get it done today.
So officially, it will go down as a fall, obviously, for jump number 2. Take a look once again. What a beautiful angle, our boat angle, as he flies over that forward ramp. Just can't nail the landing, though, and the handle flies out. All right, this is Hank Amos then. He's got one final chance to put a little more pressure on Dave Reinhardt.
The one ski front Moby, throw the front flip, let the twist happen, and so close. Got on the front of the ski just at the last moment. Had a tremendous lift right here. All he's thinking about is throwing the front right there, letting the rope uncoil. Oh, just has the handle too far away from him to absorb the slack.
Yeah, it looked like he over-rotated just a bit.
Mr. Intensity Hank Amos doesn't get all of his jumps, but he ends with a solid score of 1576, but I'm not sure that's going to be enough to put pressure on Dave Reinhardt yet to go.
Well, this is Jeff Schmick in the meantime, who's trying to add a little pressure of his own. He's wrapped and he is flying for the 720. Oh!
Big disappointment for Jeff Schmick, just a little too far forward. He ends with 845 points, but Hank Amos has applied some pressure.
Last jump, though. One ski front mob. What happened?
Woo, well, I had to compensate for the headwind because when you're throwing a front flip, in a headwind, it'll tend to stall you out and stop your rotation. So I threw it really super hard off the top, and I guess I might have hit a lull in the wind, but boy, I sure went out the front on that one.
Look at you. You are just grinning from ear to ear, though. You had fun out there today, didn't you?
It's a blast. It's a blast. I love it.
These freestylers don't care about the conditions, rough or smooth. Here is the king of any condition. Dave Reinhardt, one ski back Moby, sits down on the landing, not good on form, and well short of the distance Hank Amos got on his mob.
Yeah, and Wayne, I think it's interesting to note that Reinhardt is pretty happy with that score. You wonder if he realizes it's a full 90 points shy of what Amos got on that same jump. Right now, though, this is Mike Tolzman anticipating, waiting, and ready to fly off the ramp.
One ski back gainer, sits back, over rotates, not as good as Hank Amos once again. 612 versus 696.
And here is the dog Reinhardt. He's got 2 skis on for his second jump. And Wayne Grimditch, when he's got 2 skis on, you know what that means.
It means he's ignoring his health, his sanity, his logic. This is the trick that puts unusual pressure on his already damaged knee. A torn right ACL ligament. He's got to really kick and dive and gets monstrous. Woo! Pulls it together. 835 points, a tour record in distance, 97 feet. Right here is the secret. Big kick off the end, diving, flipping, and maybe the headwind helped keep him up there. Sensational jump for Reinhardt.
One more look. He almost seemed to spring off the very edge of the ramp. Yet he hangs on. 835 points and a tour record to boot.
Kind of an ugly looking trick because you have to stay all bent up to clear the rope safely through the rotation and the spin.
Yeah, but ugly or not, he gets some big points out of it. 835 to be exact. Here now is Mike Tolzman, his second jump.
The man years ago who led the field onto the one ski maneuvers, and he does a full twisting back Moby. Again, a little over rotated. Mike slips right there, doesn't get his full extension, not squarely over the ski in the right position, sits on the back, saves it nonetheless, and he's got one maneuver left.
And that's how many maneuvers this man has left. Dave Reinhardt, as he gets ready for his third and final attempt. Now, he's currently in first place already. What is left for him to do is virtually take first place out of reach for Mike Tolzman.
Focused on the top of the ramp. That's where he initiates a hard flip, and it's terrific. Just uncoils. He dusts on the landing, but it doesn't matter because it's such a high degree of difficulty trick right off the end. Keeps the rope nice and close. That's going to be over 1,800 for him.
Yeah, he saves the best for last indeed as he scores over 1,000 points on his third and final jump.
Dave Reinhardt, once again, the king of freestyling.
Did you know that you broke a tour record with your distance on your 2-ski?
No, I didn't.
97 feet, you broke a tour record.
Good, that helps my overall standings a little bit, but I didn't expect it I didn't expect that to be the record.
Well, congratulations. You flew. It was a lot of fun to watch you.
I knew on my first jump I had 780, and I want to get around 800 points for my last jump. So instead of risking and not getting it in form, I thought I'd go ahead and go for it in distance. So if I did have bad form, I'd still get the guaranteed 800.
Well, you launched yourself, and we'll look forward to seeing you in Shreveport.
Thanks very much.
So Dave Reinhardt takes home the big money, $3,150. Mike Tolzman, by the way, not able to better his score on his third and final jump. He finishes in third place. Beautiful day here in St. Paul. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bud Water Ski Tour. Dan Debenham along with Wayne Grimditch, along with the wind. It has not died down. In fact, if anything, it's picked up for our men's freestyle jumping. They'll be doing all kinds of tricks, and the only question is,
Here we go, baby. Woo!
What is a front Mobius, and why do they do it?
Woo. You mean the front lobotomy?
Explosion, mass confusion, and sometimes death.
Do a hard front flip, and then I tighten up. Close my eyes, and there I am.
Sky, water, sky, water.
We want to know exactly what a front Moby is.
A what?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
A front Mobius? That's something that they do when they jump off the ramp. Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
M-O-B,
Front.
I-U-S.
Mobius.
Front Mobius. Scary.
So why do they do this? As we get set for freestyle jumping presented by SeaWorld, because the guy who nails the front Mobius invariably wins the competition, Wayne.
Right now in the water, Jeff Schmick, one ski back Moby. The back Mobius, it's the front Mobius we're talking about. He scores very well, over 800 points on the first back full twisting flip, about 20 feet in the air, 55 miles an hour.
And a beautiful landing. He skis it out as we get set for Hank Amos's first jump. Hank Amos hitting that ramp and flying. He was wrapped
For the one ski back Mobius, a full twisting back flip. It's the front Mobius where they run into troubles, but right now he's edging to the ramp trying to keep a tight line. Extends his hips, does that well. He's a left foot forward skier, and then something unusual. Hank Amos sitting down on a landing. That takes away big time from his score, and he doesn't get over 800 points. Is the wind causing them problems?
A crosswind like this. Clear it up for us. Doesn't this affect you guys hitting that ramp? Such a strong crosswind?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have it's gonna be real hard getting out wide today, so you're gonna see a lot more progressive pulls, and then it's gonna be, when you're coming across here, it's gonna be pushing you another way, so you want to keep a tight line, but you don't want to let it get away from you.
Right now, the wind is following the skiers, pushing them into the ramp. That can cause some slack rope problems, but not particularly on this trick. Jeff Schmick, his last shot by the ramp for the 720, 2 full revolutions. He almost gets his free hand on the handle. So very close, both on his second and third jumps on this very trick. His head is up off the top, comes around, just barely misses the handle. Gets a mouthful of water and only one scoring jump.
It's obvious you're disappointed, Jeff. Back-to-back falls on the 720. What happened out there?
I don't know. I thought I had them both just wired, and then I landed and just got ejected out the front. I don't know if it's the rough water and just didn't allow for it or what, but I thought they were perfect. They felt great in the air, and I just didn't ski them away.
Well, here's a man out on the water right now who was wired in Shreveport. He won his first victory this year on tour. He comes into the front, Moby, one ski, full twisting, lands it, skis away, and he is psyched.
Hank Amos has been performing brilliantly as of late. He began with a couple of fourth-place finishes on the tour, but lately, 3 seconds and 1 first.
Have you ever had a round like this in your life on the Pro Tour?
Actually, yeah, I did in Shreveport last weekend when I won it. So hopefully, if all goes well today, we still have 2 skiers left. Maybe I can pull another one out.
You know that Dave was sitting up here on shore, Reinhardt, and of course, he has pretty much dominated the tour so far. But do you feel that maybe you're putting a little scare in his heart? Woo! Oh, look at that, he bounced up.
No way.
Oh, does that, look at that. Is that the type of competitor he is?
Exactly. Dave will never give up, and that's why I have my work cut out for him. He's incredible, as you can see by that tumble-up effort, and he's always going to be there.
It's going to be close. We'll see what happens.
Thanks a lot.
This was Dave Reinhardt. You saw it during the interview. Goes down and yet somehow skis out the landing.
Well, we call him Dave the Dog Reinhardt, but he's more like a cat. He is always able to find his feet, does a side slide, stands up. Unfortunately, that just kills his form score. So for the one ski back Moby, he only scored 650.
This is Mike Tolzman. He has been injury-free as of late, and he has been scoring very well lately.
Here is the first man ever to do a one ski front or back flip on one ski. This, however, is the one ski back full twisting flip, the back mobe. 700 points, not very far on distance. Gets great extension, but not a lot of speed to the base of the ramp. Kind of surprises himself with the height he got in the air and a little bit of a rough landing.
Dave Reinhardt now, one ski on, and he is wrapped.
He has decided to give the one ski front Moby 2 shots as his second jump. Usually he does the 2 ski front Moby, but he wanted at least 2 shots at it today because of Hank Amos's score. He comes around with not much speed, thus not much distance. He skis away, but does not score 1,000 points, which he usually is way above on this particular trick.
You can see in that replay the ducks were getting out of his way. I think they're cleared and out of the way of Mike Tolzman here. He hits the ramp, flies, uncurls, puts his arm up in the air, and knows that he has gained 1,765 total points, but that is not good enough to move him into first place.
Tolzman, better form, more distance than Amos, but just not enough.
I didn't ski good at all today. I was mad at myself out there. I screwed up the Mobius so bad, my first trick right off the bat, and I had to come back big, and at least I do have the 720 in my back pocket that I can come for a third big trick. And I choked. I just hit a wet spot.
Brutal honesty on the part of the veteran. Oh, that's the 2 ski front Mobius for Dave Reinhardt.
103 feet, a tour record. Reinhardt only needed a stand-up landing, which is tough to do when you've got a torn right knee ligament.
You are used to standing in the winter circle. Hank Amos has been nipping at your heels and has actually grabbed you a couple of weeks. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is the second week in a row. I hope he doesn't make too much of a habit out of it. I am injured this year, and I haven't been training like I should be, and I like to be, but Hank's skiing good. He deserved to win.
You know, you for a long time were the only one doing the 1 or 2 ski front mobe. Now it seems like everybody's doing it.
Yeah, it seems like they get a trick of their own instead of copying off of me, but I guess if it's working for me, it can work for them.
It's worked 2 weeks in a row for Hank Amos, who once again is in the top spot and takes home the top money, $3,150.
Hank Amos, it's official, first place.
Oh, man, here we go, 2 in a row. That's exactly what I was hoping for.
You know, Dave says, you know, I hope he doesn't make a habit of this. He's won 2 weeks in a row. I bet you'd love to make a habit of this.
I'm taking it all the way to the end of the season if I can help it.
Oh, did I hear a challenge? I thought I detected one. So Hank Amos is out for Dave Reinhardt. Our next stop in Indianapolis. Your wacky ways about you, because as you can see, it's time for the Wild Men of the Water freestyle jumping presented by SeaWorld.
Here is an event that can dish out some punishment, but these guys don't care because they're daredevils, and here's the best. Dave Reinhardt, 5-time freestyle champion, the one ski full twisting back flip.
And as we take a look at Jeff Schmick, I want to point something out that I have found out through tireless research, and that is my partner here, Wayne Grimdich, was the innovator of many of these tricks. You've never mentioned this. I had to dig it out of other people. Wayne, you are just too modest.
Tireless research. It's unbelievable. I used to do a few of these things, not the Mobies though, but they were on 2 skis, very elementary stages of freestyle back in the late 70s. On 1 ski, it's extremely difficult, but let's talk about the 2 ski front Mobius coming up right now. Dave Reinhardt, first ever to do this particular flip. This is weird. It's bizarre because you have to clear the rope in mid-flight. Right at this point, Dave is wanting a tight line, edges to about 55 miles an hour, and then dives forward, and the rope just unwraps him. He skis away, dusts on the landing, but a pretty solid score of 820 points.
And that's exactly what Dave needs right now, solid scores. Keep in mind that in the last 2 tour stops, Dave has finished no higher than 3rd. In that same time, Hank Amos has been the man to beat.
Back to back. Freestyle jumping first place. Is the pressure on for this young man?
3rd time's a charm. I'm going for it.
You know, you told us that earlier. Last week when you won, you said, hey, I'm going all the way. I'm not stopping here. The rest of these guys on the dock know that you've been saying that, though?
I don't think they're aware of it, but they'll find out in about 10 minutes.
Ooh, boy, a confident Hank Amos. He'll have to wait, though, as Jeff Schmick right now trying to land that one-ski 720. This has been his nemesis for weeks as he over-rotates and can't hang on.
It has been unbelievable how close he's gotten to this trick, yet hasn't skied away in the last couple of weeks. It's a very delicate maneuver. You have to have just the right positioning.
Jeff, we have talked to you now basically 3 weeks in a row about your nemesis, which at this point is that 720. How much are you thinking about that, and how much is it just digging in your gut that you can outland this sucker?
It's really bothering me. I'm doing the trick better than I ever have in the air, and I don't know. I just have too much time to land, and I just can't seem to figure it out.
Yeah, in fact, you are over-rotating.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to just go for a 10 that time, and I probably should have, because either way, it was a fall.
Frustrations continue for Jeff, who hasn't won in 5 weeks. This man, Dave Reinhardt, final jump, hasn't won in 3 weeks, needs this jump and gets it. 1,155 points for a total of 1,975. A terrific scoring effort for Dave Reinhardt.
On the front, Moby.
You got some great scoring jumps. How's it feel to be maybe back on top of your game after a couple of weeks?
Yeah, last couple weekends didn't really ski that well. And it's really good to come back when you win a lot in a row, and I have. And then when you start losing a couple, it really messes up your mind really quickly. So I'm really happy to overcome that, and this, I think, did it.
Well, you know, Hank Amos says that nobody's going to catch him from this point on.
Well, we'll see what happens, won't we?
Well, that got Mr. Reinhardt a little stirred up, Dan. A little fire in Reinhardt's eyes. He's been a little frustrated, too, this season because he's had to curtail his practice because of the torn knee ligament.
Hank Amos, in the meantime, has come to the forefront and, in fact, won the last 2 tour stops and is off to a great start here today. 895 points.
Gorgeous style in the air. He even dusts on the landing and scores almost 900. That's outstanding.
Here comes Mike Tolzman, a healthy Mike Tolzman, as he admits, and that means problems for the rest of the jumpers as the veteran nails his first jump, 850 points, and that is a great way to start for Mike Tolzman.
Beautiful jump by Tolzman. The difference between Amos's 895 and Tolzman's 850, distance, spring off the top. Tolzman doesn't travel across the water quite as far, but a great start.
Hank Amos now is wrapped with 2 skis, which means what, Wayne Grimditch?
The 2-ski front Moby. Just diving. That's all they think about on that trick, is just throwing the flip, and he throws it. But you know what? He started to twist a little bit too soon, and that got him stretched out on the landing.
Oh, you could see as he was trying to pull out that landing how frustrated he was that he wasn't able to land it cleanly.
Hank Amos picked up this trick mid-season, and it has really paid off, except on this attempt.
And this is Mike Tolzman then, and if I'm not mistaken, Wayne, I think he's got a grin on his face as he gets ready for the 1-ski front Moby.
These guys are crazy, little twisted, little bent, but he is straight off the top. 1,223 points. That is the highest score we've ever seen because of the kick. Look at this. Legs almost straight. Oh, just a gorgeous jump by Tolzman.
And he knows it. 1,223 points. Oh, that's a thing of beauty.
If you're in search of mega dosages of adrenaline, this is the trick for you.
Yeah, I figure that would do it for you. Hank Amos now, his final jump. He needs to land this. He does, but is it enough?
No, it falls short of Tolzman, who has already scored 2,073. Amos doesn't get quite the extension off the end that we saw from Tolzman. Pulls it out and skis away, but just not enough.
I love a guy with confidence, and dang it, you went out there saying you were going to win back-to-back-to-back titles. This was not your day. However, what happened out there?
Too much to hope for, I guess. What happened is Mike Tolzman's on fire. I mean, he came on today. I haven't seen him ski that good all year. He is just on fire. He was usually a late bloomer anyway, so he comes on real strong in the end of the season. And you just can't argue with what he did. It was just really bad to the bone skiing, and I give him all the credit in the world, and he deserved first, and I took second.
Bad to the bone skiing. That's what Mike Tolzman's been doing, and this is Mike's final attempt.
The baddest guy on tour. The bad boy who lives on the lunatic fringe. This last jump doesn't matter because it's the 2 of 3 jumps, the best 2 of 3 jumps that score. He had already won it after the second jump, throws in another one for good measure.
Congratulations. How's it feel?
It feels great. It's been quite a while. I've had a lot of injuries last year, broke my foot. This year, broke my knee, broke my ankle. And now I'm healthy, and when I'm healthy, I can compete with the boys and win a few tournaments.
It is the freestyle jumping competition.
The ramp,
hit the
5.5 feet.
Mike Tolzman, about 6 feet, but he'll hit that 5.5-foot ramp and do all kinds of crazy things. This is freestyle jumping presented by SeaWorld. Hank Amos is first up. Jump number 1.
One ski back, Moby, full twisting back flip, lands it, doesn't stand up. That's going to take away from his form, but Hank Amos is one of the guys that has pushed this sport to another level of competition.
And pushing Dave Reinhardt, by the way. We'll talk about that more a little bit later. Here's Jeff Schmick, though.
55 miles an hour, sailing, stands up, but not a lot of distance, not quite as far as Hank Amos. He only scores 770 on the one ski back Mobius.
We've talked about this crowd here. They are a knowledgeable crowd, an appreciative crowd, and they are watching Hank Amos. Jump number 2. Now, he needs to set a couple of tour records, and he needs Dave Reinhardt to have a poor showing, and that's not going to help him in order for Hank Amos to overtake Dave Reinhardt in the overall standings. He's got to be hurt with this jump.
Well, he was trying to go for more distance, which means a harder cut to the base of the ramp, building more speed, and just trying to get beyond 103 feet, he tumbles up.
Jeff Schmick, double wrapped, which means he could be going for that 720 again. He hasn't been able to land that baby.
That has frustrated him all season. He won a couple of victories early in the year, but hasn't because of the 720. But I think he's going for the 1080, and he does 3 more revolutions. And he just decides, oh, forget 2 revolutions, let's go for 3.
He looked like he was a helicopter getting ready to take off. He was looking for vertical lift there, and ow, I think he's hurt.
He stung himself right there, but boy, he got awful close. We've seen him almost land this 2 years ago in San Diego, but that time got pulled right over the front and landed on his noggin.
That's 1. Let's see him go for 2. And this is 3. In fact, he over-rotates.
Well, he didn't keep enough tension in his skiing arm, the one with the handle in it, and it just pulled him and kept pulling him and rotating him right onto his head. Ouch. Brutal fall, but the guy is tough.
Hank Amos, then. This is his 3rd and final jump, and he needs a tour record in order to have any kind of mathematical chance to catch Dave Reinhardt. That won't do it for him. Disappointment on this man's face, but he has had a great season trying to catch up with Dave Reinhardt.
Well, it's been a fantastic season. You really have to applaud his effort all year long. He incorporated Reinhardt's tricks into his repertoire, this being one of him, and he just missed.
Hey, Dave, any more sense of relief? Or did you think you had it anyway?
No, I didn't. Hank's a good skier, very talented person, and only a fool would doubt their competitor's ability. And Hank has a lot of ability. He could do it.
So now, are you then sensing just a little bit of relief?
Yeah. Now that it's all over with after the 3rd jump, yes, I know I've got it sewn up now, and I'm very pleased and happy because this makes 6 times in a row for me. And I was really wanting that this year, especially after a knee surgery or a knee accident, and being able to not practice and still win first. I'm real pleased.
That is a record 6 consecutive titles for Mr. Reinhardt. Very satisfying day for him and a very disappointing day for Hank Amos.
You could sense from the dock the emotion that you had out there in the water, smack in the water. Hey, this is a good time when you're on the dock and yipping it up. But when you get out there, you're a competitor, you're an athlete, and you wanted to win.
I gave it everything I had today, and that wasn't good enough. And just think I wish I could have finished up the season a little bit better than I just skied today, but I'll take what I can get.
You were so close. I asked Dave, I said, hey, Dave, are you satisfied or do you breathe a sense of relief, or did you think you had it anyway? You know what Dave said? And I want your reaction. Dave said, only a fool would think that you had it sewn up with Hank Amos. He said, Hank Amos is an excellent athlete. Your thoughts?
I respect Dave for that, and then think we've driven each other along all year, and we haven't made it easy for either one, and he deserves the overall victory, and that's what he's going to go home with, so good for him.
Hank Amos, appreciate your candor, and we know the kind of athlete and competitor you are. We look forward to seeing you back here on the 94 Bud Tour.
Dan, thanks a lot. See ya.
The freestylers in water skiing never leave anything on the dock. They push it to the extreme, and they are commended for raising the level of competition to a height we've never seen before.
Well, Wayne, this is Jeff Schmick, who will wrap things up with an easy back gainer. He is in pain. It looks like he has hurt his back. Jeff Schmick, yeah, look at him grab his back there. He's in pain, and in fact, these guys wear certain gear. We're going to talk about it right now. We're getting geared up. They wear what's known as the Valio back brace, a back belt, and believe me, everybody needs it, from the freestyle jumpers to the slalom skiers. Valio.
As skiing progresses, so does the injury factor. I mean, these guys, you just saw Wade Cox get into 41 off. These guys are jumping over 200 feet. We're doing double spinning maneuvers. You know, we need all the support we can get, and Valio provides it.
And they get it from the belts and the fans who are cheering on Mike Tolsman now, the veteran who says he feels good, and he's jumping like it, too. This is jump number 2.
Fantastic extension on the one ski front Moby, 1,253 points, 87 feet in distance. Man, he was just thinking about throwing that front flip and letting the rope untwist him. The veteran, when healthy, looks very youthful.
Well, Dave Reinhardt, healthy or not, and he's not so healthy these days, continues to find ways to win.
And he needed that one, 1,283 points on the one ski front Moby. It was only 96 feet. I say only because in the earlier round of competition, he went 103 for a distance record.
And as always, the jumpers acknowledge the crowd. Here's Mike Tolsman, who, believe me, does not feel second to Dave Reinhardt on any given day as he flies smoothly through the air.
Well, he raises his arms because he's just going for a distance record on the one ski gainer. He already has scored 2,058 points, a tremendous score. We've seen him over 2,000 a couple of times this season. He is really looking tough today.
You know, those shots that we're seeing down in the water, our buoy cam, if you will, are brought to you by this guy right here. That is Cliff Adams. He's done a great job for us all season long. Here comes Dave. Call me the dog. Reinhardt, his third and final jump.
Has already won the competition. He's going for a distance record and tremendous leap off the end, 115 feet for the one ski gainer. That is a record.
That certainly is. Watch again as he prepares to spring off that ramp.
Keep in mind, they're traveling on a 7-inch wide ski at 55 miles an hour over a surface slicker than ice and maintains balance.
Mike Tolsman, you had a good time?
Oh, yeah. That was fun out there.
Helmet off to Dave Reinhardt, though. You take the nod to this guy 6 times.
Oh, yeah. He skied great today. He did good on the trick he usually messes up, but...
Is that true? Hey, Dave. Mike Tolsman said you did good on the trick that you normally messed up. In fact, you just pulled out a tour record. Yeah. Another tour record.
I know. It's been 110 feet for so long, it's time for it to drop, and Mike tried to do it on that one, so I thought I'd give it my shot.
The sixth time in a row freestyle professional tour champion.
Felt really good, felt real proud, really felt good about how I accomplished the stuff, but it all comes back to, a lot of hard work and dedication. This is a sport or a profession that is self-motivating, and it's a tough sport, it's a tough profession to be in. And to be able to accomplish that, being self-motivated, I'm real proud of myself.
Dave Reinhardt, the understudy of the understatement. Dave Reinhardt, the 6-time tour champion. Congratulations once again, Tolsman and Schmick. Hey, time for our Toyota Radical Maneuver of the day, and guess who picks it up? Jeff Schmick, who brings a whole new meaning to the term whirlybird. Ah, yes, Toyota, I love what you do for me.
You forget about Dave the Dog Reinhardt, who has picked up 6 titles in a row in freestyle jumping.
The man who sees only one out of one eye, has a torn ACL ligament, and he still lands on his feet and is ahead of the rest of the field. They called him the dog, but we're not quite sure why.
It has been a great season. We hope you enjoyed joining us. For Wayne Grimm, I'm Dan Debenham.